Hi guys, welcome back to Pressing Issues. It's been a long time since we made an episode, and since the Premier League is almost back, we're like a couple days away. We thought we'll get this podcast back up and running and hopefully have more consistent uploads. And our dedicated viewers might see that we have a third member. I'd let the third member introduce himself.
Hi guys, I'm Pranav. I have appeared previously on an episode of this podcast, and I support Barcelona clearly. Thanks for having me, guys, and I hope to be a permanent member of this podcast.
Which was missed out by our
Alone.
introductor. Anyway, welcome PP. So we have decided to talk a little bit about Premier League and what our individual predictions would be for the top six. And I think we have a couple other cliche topics that we wanted to talk about, like player of the season, golden boot winner, playmaker, uh, clean sheets.
Yes, clean sheets.
And young player of the season as well. So yeah, I think we'll just start off in a round robin kind of a thing. Each of us will tell, starting from 6th place to 1st place in
Okay.
reverse order,
Okay.
and
Okay.
then we'll go for the rest of the topics.
And you want like one of us to start and do all six, or like each of us do?
Each of us tell
one.
our sixth?
Yeah.
Or- okay,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, fine. So, okay, I'll since I know which team's gonna be there, I'm gonna start off. So, top six predictions. I'm gonna go Man United 6th. I think primary reason being, one, we compared to the other clubs, we haven't improved our squad as much as we would have
Hope.
hoped for, and
Also note his jersey, guys.
yes, please. So, and as of today, our squad isn't very good. Like, even our starting 11 is not very good. Like, especially the attack, the very unreliable players who might work out, might not work out, and there is no depth behind that attack. And United's main weakness going into the season was their midfield and like defensive midfield, and clearly that hasn't improved yet. So unless some miracles happen in the next month, I see United finishing 6th.
Yeah, then I would go with United 6th.
Anything to add to that?
No, he's covered almost everything. They've not signed anyone, which has been kind of disappointing in the sense that it doesn't look like they're going to fight very strongly for the 4th position, at least at the moment. Yeah, even I think 6th place is what I have in my mind as well. What about you?
I think Chelsea will finish 6th. I gave it some thought. I feel that new manager bounce will be there for United. Players will be motivated to prove that they're good. I don't think they lack the quality or the depth. Depth maybe, but quality maybe not. Like you can see, I'm a Spurs fan, big fan of Christian Eriksen as well. I think he can add a lot to the team. New left back. Heard he's good, but he'll probably take some time to gel in. I feel that United is weak defensively, but if they play this possession kind of football where they essentially try to keep the ball with themselves for a longer period of time, they shouldn't have such a big problem. But with Chelsea, I feel like they have a completely revamped backline. I think only Chilwell didn't almost play the entire season last season. James played for a bit. He was injured. He played really well, but whenever he played, they lost Rudiger, which I think is a big shot. They have Sterling now, which is good. They lost Lukaku, but I don't know. I just feel there's a lot of ins and outs in Chelsea. And if you just objectively look at how their performance was in the second half of last season, I think they were on the decline. I don't know if they've done the reinforcements they really needed for bringing everything back. So I personally think Man U can be helped by the new manager bounce, and I'd put Chelsea 6th.
Chelsea 6th. Okay, so then I'll move on to 5th place. I think Spurs will finish 5th. So I don't think Shashank's gonna like me saying this, but like my primary reasoning behind this is just that I'll give my reasons as to why I put like apart from the big two, why I put Chelsea and Arsenal above Spurs when I get there. But for now, at least, sure, like Spurs have made a lot of signings, sure, and but I'm not exactly confident that they can be like game changers to an extent where they push for that fourth place compared to like the other clubs. I mean, they did finish fourth, but that's with United having a record worst season in like the history of the club in the Premier League, and just Arsenal being like extremely inconsistent and like pretty poor for the first half of the season. So they've Conte is a extremely good manager who can get like the best out of the players, and I think now he's gotten players to suit his system. But I still feel that they're gonna end up being a bit short, especially midfield and defense. I think they have good starting players, but with the World Cup, I feel this season strength and depth is going to be one of the most important things. I think you can have one of the best 11s in the Premier League, but if you don't have depth, you'll probably struggle this season with like an international tournament in between. So for that particular reason, I'm putting Spurs fifth.
Spurs fifth. Okay. I'm going with Chelsea for fifth. You covered most of the reasoning, but the one thing. So I'm not really sure about this position because I feel like Chelsea are going to make some very significant signings in the coming days.
Mm-hmm.
So this is before the season starts.
A lot kind of banks on that.
Yeah, and I think like the rumors has it that it's Frankie De Jong and Aubameyang might actually end up in Chelsea. Kukurea. So they have some reinforcements to get still, but the issue with them is again their defense. They lost Rudiger, but they haven't actually, I feel, made up for that. That is one issue.
I think Koulibaly is a very solid signing.
Koulibaly is, but I just felt Rudiger. See, Thiago Silva is 1 year older.
Mm-hmm.
In that sense, I don't know how often he's going to start. They lost Christensen,
Mm-hmm.
they lost Rudiger, and Aspilicueta for some reason Barcelona wants him. So we really don't know.
Topic.
That's a whole other topic. But I just think overall they haven't gotten the reinforcements that they have to. If they get a striker, I think they'll obviously be better. Aubameyang might be an upgrade over what they have now.
Definitely an upgrade over what they have.
Yeah. So Werner is a pretty big
He's tipped to
disappointment
leave
so far.
too, right?
Yeah, he's also expected to leave.
Yeah.
So,
And Frankie De Jong, I think, will be a pretty big upgrade in midfield as well. So if they get both of them, I think they can probably push for fourth and above. But at the moment, according to the squad they have, I think Chelsea can end fifth.
cool. I think United will finish fifth.
Yes.
I kind of already had my points forward, I guess, and the other two put them in sixth. So I think we mostly covered all the points. My prediction is United fifth, Chelsea sixth.
Okay, for fourth place, I had a bit of trouble picking fourth and third, but it will be slightly controversial given the momentum and everything going. I'm putting Arsenal fourth. So they're going to be better than last season because one, I think Mikel Arteta is like at least in the back end of that season like got them running, and Jesus is like a brilliant signing for them. Zinchenko is a brilliant signing for them. They're a bit light in central midfield, but I feel their attack is gonna carry them this season. And the reason why I probably put Arsenal fourth and Chelsea, whatever, Chelsea it's gonna come up, but anyway, Chelsea above them is because I don't think Arsenal have a lot of depth in their whole team, to be honest. Like, because their midfield options are Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka, and if one of them is injured, we have like Mohamed El Neni playing, and the dude only has 2 good games a season, and both are against United. So if he plays any other team other than United, it's gonna be a bad game for Arsenal. And even in attack, it's Jesus, Martinelli, and Saka will be the first choice. And again, like Martinelli is talented, but he's not had like a 15 plus goal season, and if one of them is injured, then the backup is like Pepe, who's just like God. I don't think even Arsenal fans like Pepe. So they have like a very thin squad. Even though it kind of the first 11 looks very attractive, the squad is pretty thin. Because of that, I'm going Arsenal fourth.
Yeah, I'm going with Arsenal fourth also. But I'm actually surprised that none of us put Arsenal at fifth.
Yeah,
That's damn weird. Arsenal fourth makes sense with at least looking at pre-season, it makes sense that they can be fourth. And
Which is
as
the
you
worst
said,
way to look at it, I guess. But
yeah,
okay,
it's like the
let's
worst way to look at it, though.
But that's the data we have right now.
For now, yeah, it's just guesswork. So yeah, at the moment, even I think Gabriel Jesus is a very good signing. Zinchenko will probably be pretty efficient for them. Yeah, apart from them, even I felt like midfield is weak, but I think the Arteta could get the best out of them. Like last season, second half of last season, they were really good. They have some nice style of play, and they have some.
I mean, they kind
play,
of bottled it in the end, but I feel still like
still they have a chance.
They have yeah. I think they were like, I think 15 games to go, they were almost clear favorites to finish fourth. But then bad results, bad form kind of pushed them over.
They lost.
They just lost crucial games.
They lost crucial games. That's
and that probably can
so.
put that up to not having a clinical finisher. Like maybe the 10 goals or 15 goals Jesus adds over, like say Lacazette who they had, will probably bleed like the difference between their last season result and the season's result. So what about you, Shashank?
Yeah, fourth Arsenal. That's my guess. I think fourth is kind of, all of us picked Arsenal. All points were covered. I really like Jesus. I think he's a great finisher. He'll add a lot to the attacking quality. Like he said, yeah, their midfield is a little weak, but I think Odegaard is really, really good. I think he's their captain too for next season, making him the youngest captain in Premier League currently and things like that. So they have a lot to look forward to that way. So yeah, Arsenal fourth.
Ready?
Third, you want to go?
Actually, go for it. Yeah.
I think Spurs will finish third.
Ooh, surprise!
Yeah, I think top two is almost they're both always in their own league. At least for the past 4-5 years, they've been like that. Spurs have signed 6 players. All of them are good players. There's no one who's really like a standout player, but I honestly feel they're mostly system players. Like they are players who wanted to play the Conte way, and because of that, they'll gel well into the team. That's my guess, because they don't come with big egos that they have to start every game. Maybe Richarlison is one guy like that, which is good for the front line because he'll push the other 3, and he's someone who can play all the 3 positions as well. So anyone getting injured, he'll directly just chip in. And I think he's a great backup, if not a starter. And Bissouma in midfield, I think, will really boost the team. He's a great player, a lot of confidence on the ball, great defensively as well. So new wing backs, which is very good. I think Perisic will add a lot to the squad with all his experience. I think he's really fit for a 34-year-old. He has been there, done that, won a lot of things, won the Champions League, won leagues, and looking forward to him being a mentor to the younger players as well.
Oh, there's part of that Bayern squad.
That won the
the treble.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a treble winning squad. I see.
So yeah, a good mix of experienced players and young players like Jed Spence, who are barely turning 20, 21 years of age, but strong, physical, good Conte kind of players. So I personally feel there's a lot to look forward to as a Tottenham fan. So I would put them finishing third.
Your typical finish above Arsenal trophy.
Why not? I'll take it. It's been 2,200 odd days since Arsenal finished above Spurs. I'll keep saying that.
Fair.
Anyway.
PP, go.
Same.
Spurs.
I think you covered everything. They have very good signings. They have a very good attack, which we saw last season as well. I think they'll do well. They can even push. I feel like they can push the top 2 if they slip up in some way, which has happened in the 2 seasons ago. So we can make, if that happens, I think Spurs can actually push if they are playing really well throughout.
So coming to mine. So it's the most out of place pick because I'm going for Chelsea third. I think Chelsea, even though they had a bad season last season, they still finished third, and I think their form in the later end of the season, I think you can write that to like the uncertainty around the club with the sanctions against Chelsea because of their owner, and the fact that rumors they were like they didn't have money for like travel and everything. I don't know how true that was, but there's a lot of uncertainty as to what is going to happen to the club, to the players going into next season. I think that kind of contributed to their bad form going to the end of last season. And of the players they've lost, right, Rudiger is a big miss. I think Koulibaly is like an adequate replacement. Of course, he's like might not be as good as Rudiger and might take time to adjust to the Premier League. Rudiger's like Premier League ready, and Christensen is a loss. I'm hoping that they sign more defenders, which they probably will. With one is already in the pipeline from Brighton, but yeah, they might end up signing more centre backs. And with their
Did they
attack,
sign someone else?
no, they were
Other
looking
than
for Koundé.
Koulibaly?
They were looking for Koundé, and then the Barca
Koundé,
boys
Yeah.
stepped in at the last moment, as they usually do for Chelsea targets. So, in the players they've lost is one Lukaku. It's not like he was contributing like 100 goals last season. It's not like they're gonna miss anything. They've signed Sterling, who might not be a very clinical finisher, but he's gonna get you goals. He's gonna be there at the right place at the right time. He's gonna create. He's gonna get you goals.
Yeah.
And another thing about Chelsea is that they have a decently deep squad. Like especially that their like attack and forward areas, they have a decently like you have Kovacic, Kante, Jorginho to play two of the three roles. You have like Gallagher coming back into the Chelsea main team. He was really bright in the Premier League last season. So you have like Gallagher, Mount, Havertz, Ziyech, and Pulisic to play behind whoever plays up front. Like none of them are like standout players, but you just need like two of them to be on form, and that's it, right? You have like two of them playing good for 10 games. You play them, then when they don't play well, you put someone else. So I think they have decent options to rotate, and like Tuchel's sides are like defensively extremely sound, and it's like they barely concede goals. So it's they like I'm confident that Chelsea are gonna keep a lot of clean sheets, and if they can get a decent striker like Cristiano, maybe they can push even higher up the table. But I think people are overlooking Chelsea because I think they're writing them off because of like recent form, but I think it's something that's kind of was beyond the control of the players and the manager, and I think that they'll be back to what they were doing last season. So I'm putting Chelsea third.
Fair.
So there's not much
Go
to
with top
discuss.
two now.
Okay, we'll do
Go
top
with
two
top
together.
two
I'm going to
together.
top two together. I'm putting Liverpool second, City first. It's like as a United fan, right? This is the horrible season. I don't want Liverpool to win because they'll equal our record goal title tally. If City win, they'll record our longest streak of winning titles. That is like 3 in a row. So it's kind of I don't know who wants to win, but like logically speaking, I think City are gonna win. One because they were champions, and then they buy one of the best strikers in the world in Haaland. I mean, sure he missed a sitter, but dude, like for how much service that he's gonna get, he's gonna score like 25-30 goals next season. So that, and like City are this team where it's like you pull out pieces, you put in pieces, they just work. It's like their whole system is built very very it's very organic. The players coming in and out of the squad is very organic, and yeah, I think they have like a deeper squad than what Liverpool do. And again, I know right now it might not seem like a big deal, I feel, but with an international tournament in between, it's going to be a big deal that the depth matters. I think Liverpool don't have the kind of depth that City do, especially in the inside defense, because like Liverpool's defense, the four starters are like some of the best in the world, like at least definitely in the Premier League. But beyond that, they're not exactly like able replacements for them. So that's why I'm putting City first, Liverpool second.
Same. City first,
Liverpool second.
Yeah. Yeah, you covered most of it. Again, City, they've brought in some really good players. They've lost a few players. They've brought in some really good players. I think they're just going to continue from where they left off last season.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they're solid in every part of the pitch. So I can't see them messing up more games than Liverpool. Liverpool have lost one of their main attackers. Darwin Núñez, we don't know how he's going to perform. If he performs well, I mean, yeah, he may get you like 10-15 goals in this season or even more. We really don't know what to expect. That's the main issue with him. But yeah, apart from that, Liverpool is pretty solid. They probably will continue to play how they've been playing over the last few years. I don't see them like falling dramatically this season, so I'm just going to go with them at second. Yeah, but I do think City are favourites.
Yeah,
So.
I think City are favourites too,
Mhm.
but I think Liverpool will end up winning it. That's
Mhm.
what I feel.
Mhm.
Because I was trying to evaluate who are their key players in some way.
Mhm.
I think except Van Dijk, I would name the most key players of Liverpool to be Van Dijk, Trent, and Mo Salah. Now that Sadio Mane is not there. Um, I- Van Dijk will be playing in the World Cup, but Trent, I don't really see him playing in the World Cup as much as I would like to. I think Kyle Walker will be playing there, and Trent will mostly be on the bench. Um, Salah is not going to go to the World Cup.
Personally I feel is criminal from
Okay.
an England manager.
Yeah, that's another topic.
That's a totally different
Yeah.
topic. Just
Salah
right
is
back
not
to
going to
England.
play in the World Cup. And yeah, so I mean, I think they don't really rely on on their midfielders. And when we look at City's team, almost every single person except Haaland probably will be playing in the World Cup. So although there are people who are playing in the World Cup, I personally think Liverpool will have a decently fit squad after the World Cup as well. They won't be super tired. Mo Salah will get like a complete month's rest. He can come back refreshed. So there are positives like that, which I'm looking at. And they missed out on the title with 1 point. They have a new striker who they've paid so much for. He'll have a point to prove, especially because he's directly being compared to the best striker in the world, young striker in the world in some way. So he'll have a point to prove. I think just like City, Liverpool are a system-based team, and the losses that Sterling and Jesus have created in City, I feel is more than what Sadio Mane has created in Liverpool. And Haaland alone might not be able to like fulfill that, because at the end of it, City is a very system-based team, and they don't. I mean, they used to rely a lot on Aguero getting their goals, but they have become this team where they're able to generate a lot of goals from the rest of the team as well. So the reliance on Haaland wouldn't. I don't know. I mean, obviously they'll have to change the way they play a bit so that they make him the target man or whatever. But I personally think that Liverpool's substitutes have come in kind of as good substitutes. Luis Diaz looked really good last season, so he'd want to start off where he ended it. They have a solid front line, so I personally feel they have a point to prove that this can be their year, especially because City has won it twice in the last 2 years, which is very hard to keep up winning a third time in a row, which they haven't done it themselves. So yeah, that's all the points I have, I guess. That's why I'm putting Liverpool first and City second. It's hard. It's literally
just-
all
yeah.
6 predictions. None of them might be right for any of us, but
Yeah.
that's literally how this season is going to be, and it's really
Yeah,
exciting
that's
that
true.
way. We can probably tell the first 2, and then the next 4 will probably be like that.
Yeah.
But even that can be in question because
Yeah, we
of
need to
the
see
World
how
Cup
the
in the
season
middle,
starts.
and there's a lot of variabilities that can play a role here. But yeah, very exciting times. I'm super excited because it's just 2 days away, and finally we'll get to watch
I'm
some
excited for the
football.
season as a United fan, but my expectations are not very high. Let's put it that way. It's like
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna watch better football than last season. I know there's gonna be progress.
That's good for your heart, actually.
Yeah,
If your expectations are unchecked, definitely.
yeah. It's
Look at me, I'm putting Spurs in
and
third. That's
Eric
how
Ten
I'm
Hag
expecting.
clearly made sure that people understand that a coach can't work miracles. He needs players. He needs good players in the team, which I think United are lacking in a lot of places. So yeah, that's why let's see how the season unfolds. So let's quickly carry on. I think
Yeah. I think the next topic that we wanted to talk about was probably not the most talked about. We can talk about the young player of the season first, and then move on.
Sure.
from there.
Yeah. Young player of the season. Okay. I mean, let's just like.
They just tell each choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going with Foden.
Go with Foden.
Yeah.
I'm
I think the rule is 21 or under.
23 and under.
I think it's 21 and under.
It's 20. No, I think it's 23. And
23.
21 is
Because
too
Trent
young.
has been there in the
Yeah.
last
Yeah,
2 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they changed it. Okay, whatever.
So I'm going
Yeah.
with Foden. He's 21, 22.
He's
Foden's
more than 20.
probably
He's 22.
22.
I think Foden won it last year, right?
I was thinking, I don't know. I'm just going to go for a very weird guess because Mane has left Liverpool, so now I feel like Harvey Elliott will get more chances. So I'm going with Harvey Elliott. I feel
Very
like
good.
he actually might do well.
I was exactly going for Harvey Elliott too. I feel like Henderson is aging, so he can play in the midfield role as well.
Yeah.
And like he said, Mane is leaving. He can play as a left winger as well. And I've watched bits and pieces of him play. He looked really good.
Yeah.
Him and Curtis Jones, I think both of them are really good young prospects for Liverpool. But if I were to pick one, I'd probably pick Harvey Elliott as my young player too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next player of the season.
Cool.
Go ahead.
I think it will be. Actually, you tell first.
I'm going for. I think it's that thing, dude. It's gonna be De Bruyne again. It's gonna like even if like last time he definitely didn't deserve the player of the season with like Salah and Son having such good seasons, but it's like a tendency to give it to whoever wins, and I have City winning, and if City win the title this year, you have to assume that De Bruyne is going to be one of the key players in their title win. So I'm going with De Bruyne.
Yeah, same.
De Bruyne. Okay. Yeah. I think it'll be Mo Salah. That's because like just
Again,
like how
the
you
same.
guys
Yeah,
picked
fair
a
enough,
City player, I think it makes sense for me.
But
to
last
pick a
year
Liverpool
didn't
player.
Salah win?
No,
No.
it was De Bruyne.
De Bruyne.
Players Player of the Year was Salah only.
That was PFA.
Yeah,
players,
Players
One
player,
of the-
PFA
Huh.
Player of the Year.
But that
Premier League Player of the Year
it was De Bruyne.
Yeah.
Okay.
Premier League was De Bruyne. I think they gave it to De Bruyne because he kind of changed the last game of the season as well. Like he performed really well
That was
and
amazing.
he did that. I think he got 4 goals. His second half of the season was brilliant, so maybe some recency bias to it as well. Yeah, just for that reason, I think Salah will want to win the Premier League because it's been more than 2 years since they won, or exactly 2 years since they won. Now that he is the main man in the team, I think he'll probably get more goals as well because we don't know if he can. Nunes can directly pitch in for Sadio Mane or not, and things like that. So yeah. I'm going for Mo Salah.
Okay, next is
Clean
most
sheets?
assists. Will
Assists, yeah.
yeah.
I think assists is okay. Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna go for Mo Salah for most assists. I feel I think for a team that crosses the ball a lot, Liverpool have never had any aerial threats per se, like strikers who are like dominant in the air. And Nunes is this archetype of a player who is, I mean, he's tall, he has a good leap. He might not be some of the best headers of the ball, but he has this advantage of probably getting more headed goals for Liverpool. And if Salah enters the D box, he shoots, and the only way he's gonna get assists is like crossing into the box. And with he got like what 12, he got the most assists last season as well, right?
Yeah.
So I think that he's just gonna carry on. It's gonna be Mo Salah for most assists.
Yeah, mine is very similar reasoning that Nunes is there, but I'm going for Trent because for the same reason, and Trent crosses more, so that's my only reasoning. Yeah, and he was also close enough to the top most assists last time. I think 1 assist difference was there, so I'm just going with Trent.
HMS, Hurricane.
I don't know why I'm even saying this.
Kulusevski.
Yeah, I think I gave it a lot of thought. I feel like I was very confused between De Bruyne, Salah, and Kulusevski. I'm going to pick Kulusevski.
Oh my god.
Because I feel like, obviously, I mean, Spurs have 2 crazy finishers, which is Son and Kane. And Kulusevski provided 7 or 8 assists last season, which
Second half.
Yeah, which he started playing in February, that is literally 3 months of playing, I think he can add a lot to the attack. If he were to start every game and be in the front three of Spurs, and Spurs were to finish third as well, I think he will be doing a lot of the playmaking in Spurs, and he's very strong. He's good on the ball and very fit for Premier League that way. I personally think he's very good, and he is my playmaker of the season.
Okay.
Very biased, but I don't care.
Yeah, I didn't even have come up with some controversial picks. I mean, like Chelsea got schooled by Arsenal in pre-season, and I'm picking them ahead of Arsenal. So, yeah, a lot of shit's happening. But yeah, like then let's go to let's get to the clean sheets one first. So most clean sheets, I don't know. It's gonna be one of those two. Dude. I'm gonna go with.
You can flip a coin and pick one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's as easy as that.
I'm gonna go with City.
Yeah, same. Edison.
Yeah.
I'll go with Alisson. I'm literally backing Liverpool so much they better win the league this time. I think it's going to be either of those two. There's no doubt in that, unless one of them falls off a cliff, which is very unlikely.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty straightforward. Let's not waste any more time and go for the golden boot is what is left.
So golden boot, I'm going for Anthony Martial. No, just kidding.
Martial with the 25 plus Premier League goals this time.
No. I'd made a prediction like a couple years ago that Martial will get more goals than Son and Kane. A little carried away was. I'm not going to make that mistake again. So yeah, I'm just going to pick the safe pick, like a boring FPL manager who captains Salah every week. It's going to be Mo Salah. He's going to be more of like a focus in attack for Liverpool because Mane isn't there. And Nunes has a bad touch, so he's going to be laying off balls for Salah to shoot. So that's what I'm relying on.
You should put him as the playmaker then.
Oh yeah, no, correct. Fuck. Yeah. I'm going with Salah. I mean, this.
Yeah. I was going to go with Salah, but now I feel like I should go with
You've been agreeing with me a lot, so yes.
I'll go with Haaland.
Ooh.
Okay. I just think he'll have enough service to. Yeah. He finishes well, and he'll have a lot of good service. So I really don't see him not scoring enough. He'll end up scoring quite a bit. It's going to be a race between him and Salah. I feel. Even Gabriel Jesus dark horse. But there aren't too many, I guess, debates about you can say either one and it's fine. There's no wrong answer to this.
That's true.
That's true.
So wait. Can I take a guess what your prediction will be?
I don't think anyone has to guess. My shirt literally tells it.
Lucas Moura. I am backing Lucas Moura.
I very strongly think Harry Kane will win Golden Boot this time.
Harry Kane.
He has a point to prove. He had a lot of goals last season after Conte joined, probably more than anyone else in the league. Haaland is yet to prove himself. Kind of new to the league, so probably it's way too soon to expect him to finish as the top scorer. That's what I think. It's never too easy to score here, usually. So Kane has been here doing it quite a lot. I would say it'll be a two-horse race between Kane and Salah, and Kane will probably get some 1 or 2 goals extra and probably win it, or they might even share it. Being a Spurs fan, I'll obviously support Harry Kane. I think he'll win the Golden Boot.
Why not Son?
Son won it because Kane was not firing last season, at least for the first whole part of the season. Kane was not firing, and Son was literally scoring all the goals for Spurs. And once Kane started scoring, even when you just objectively look at from when Kane started scoring, Kane scored more goals than Son. For someone who's had a bad season, Kane still scored 18 goals last season, and Son scored 24. And by the time Kane scored his first goal, Son was already 8 goals in. So there is that difference in some way.
But Kane is going to give service to Son, no?
That's what Kulusevski is for, is what I would think. Kulusevski would try to feed both of them in. But I think Kane is a better finisher, and Conte really likes playing with a number 9 in some sense, so he would probably want Kane to be more in the front and be at the forefront of the attack and just make them score more goals, make him score more goals. But obviously, Son also will get at least 15-20 goals, is my guess.
Yeah.
Wow, 15-20 goals is a good season. So yeah, I guess I think half of our predictions are maybe predictable. I mean, but there's been some.
I would like to
left field
declare
calls.
myself as being the most biased podcaster today, but I'm okay with it. Spurs
I'm
fans
trying
are
not
dreaming.
to. I'm trying to anti-jinx it.
Yeah.
This is a term I'll be using more and more through as our episodes progress. You guys will realize what I mean.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to anti-jinx my way into having a good season.
So as we keep making more of these episodes, you'll realize that we both will start pushing for our clubs, and this guy will be the mediator in the middle.
Yes,
Who's
yes,
a neutral fan, but
Mhm.
who is a Pep Guardiola fan in some way. So obviously he'll root for City, is what I think. So yeah,
But,
I think that kind of concludes everything
Mhm.
that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So
Good to be back
yes,
recording.
the YouTube algorithm is
podcast
gonna kill
again.
us this time. So please like, share, and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yes, please. We need a little more
Yeah.
interaction. Comment on the video if you with your top 6 predictions. So we'll take a look. We'll see if there's some left field picks, and yeah, we need all the interactions to be back in the game. But hopefully going forward we'll be more consistent. We'll try to put out a video every week, and yeah, that's about it from our end.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
all right.
On that,
Bye.
see you.
See you guys.